November 1917 in an illustrious family, Indira Gandhi was the only child of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who was one of the chief figures in India's struggle to achieve independence from Britain. Indira's mother had died in the mid-1930s, and thereafter she often acted as a father's hostess for events and accompanied him on his travels. She attended Vishwa Bharati University in Shantiniketanam and the University of Oxford in England. She was conferred honorary doctoral degree by a host of universities globally. With an impressive academic background, she also got the Citation of Distinction from the Columbia University. She joined the Congress Party in 1938 and was actively involved in the freedom struggle. In her childhood, she founded the Bal Charkha Sangh and in 1930 the Vanar Sena of Children to help Congress in the non-cooperation movement. She was imprisoned in September 1942 and worked in riot-affected areas of Delhi in 1947 under Gandhi's guidance. In 1942, she married Firoz Gandhi, a fellow member of the Congress Party. The couple had two children, Sanjay and Rajiv. However, the two parents were estranged from each other for much of their marriage.
Long years ago, we made a tryst with destiny.
During Nehru's time as the Prime Minister of India, that is from 1947 to 1964, Indira Gandhi was considered as a key assistant and she accompanied him on his numerous foreign trips. Srimati Indira Gandhi became a national political figure in 1955 when she was elected to the executive body of the Congress Party. In 1958, she was appointed as a member for Central Parliamentary Board of Congress. Later in 1959, she was elected to the largely honorary post of party president, that is, she became the president of Indian National Congress. Upon her father's death in 1964, she was appointed as a member of Rajya Sabha, and that year, Lal Bahadur Shastri, who had succeeded Nehru as the Prime Minister, elected Indira Gandhi as the Minister of Information and Broadcasting in his government. But Shastri's leadership was short-lived. Just after 2 years of ruling, he died, and at that time, Indira Gandhi was appointed by Congress party leaders as the Prime Minister of India. Within a few years, she gained enormous popularity for introducing successful programs, especially one that transformed India into a country self-sufficient in food grains, an achievement in the process of Green Revolution. And this was just a starting of her political life. From there, her seed of success in politics began to grow.
In the paradox of populism, in the Indira Gandhi's years, 1966 to 1977, historian Suhit K. Sen traces the downfall of the hegemony that the Congress party system had maintained after the formation of the Indian Republic. As early as 1962, following the Indo-China War tension between the Congress organization and its elected governing court mounted in subsequent years, such that by the time of Indira Gandhi's installation in 1966, the rift had widened to the extent that a split in the party, which eventually came in 1969. Under Indira Gandhi's able leadership, India also extended full support to Bangladesh in its war against Pakistan. And finally, with the help of India, at the fag end of a 9-month-long war, Bangladesh was put on the world map.
Government of India cited threats to national security as a result of the Indo-Pak War and the 1973 oil crisis. The economy was in poor condition. Raj Narain, who had been defeated in the 1971 parliamentary election by Indira Gandhi, filed cases of election fraud and the use of state machinery for election in the Allahabad High Court. Allahabad High Court found Indira Gandhi guilty and declared her election null and void and unseated her from her seat in the Lok Sabha. After a quick decision regarding the procedural matter, President Fakhruddin Ali Ahmed declared a state of internal emergency upon the advice of Prime Minister Indira Gandhi on the night of 25th June 1975, the darkest in Indian history. Thus, elections were suspended and civil liberties were curbed. Most of Indira Gandhi's political opponents like Jayaprakash Narayan and George Fernandez were imprisoned and the press was censored. Our century of human rights. The period saw the shambolic forced mass sterilization campaign spearheaded by Sanjay Gandhi. The press was kept under duress. All newspapers need to get prior approval for the articles to be published. The RSS and the Janatha Islami were banned. In January 1977, the government finally decided to hold an election. The opposition united to form a new party, the Janatha Party, and for the first time since independence, the Congress was defeated. And Janatha leader Morarji Desai became the first non-Congress Prime Minister in independent India. But by 1979, the support for the Morarji Desai government declined, and on 14th January 1980, Indira Gandhi was re-elected as the Prime Minister of India.
The Ennobling Act of 1981 issued by the Government of India empowered it to virtually ban all the workers' strike in the nation. And this law faced a great opposition from the labor class. The 1982 visit to the US to attend the UN conference had a great impact on the Indian foreign policy. Then came 1984, the year when the Indian Army took its biggest internal security mission, Operation Bluestar. During those years, a large number of Sikhs led by Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale demanded the government to divide India, thereby creating a new country for Sikhs called Khalistan. On 15 December 1983, Bhindranwale captured the Golden Temple. Tensions among Sikhs escalated. But after nearly a year of negotiation, Mrs. Gandhi ordered for the Operation Bluestar in June 1984. The operation consisted mainly of three parts: Operation Metal, Operation Shop and Operation Woodhouse. The operation was a success and helped in regaining control over the Golden Temple. Some buildings in the shrine were badly damaged in the fighting and at least 456 were killed. Unfortunately, Mrs. Gandhi was assassinated at 9:29 am on 31st October 1984 at her residence in New Delhi by two of her own Sikh bodyguards Satwant Singh and B.N. Singh in revenge for the attacks. On 30th October, she said, "I am alive today. I may not be there tomorrow. I shall continue to serve until my last breath, and when I die, I can say that every drop of my blood will invigorate India and strengthen it." Here ends the story of Indira Priyadarshini Gandhi, who still lives as a burning inspiration in the heart of every Indian.